Hi guys, Blacksmith here, and I'm going to be talking about another one of my techniques that we've been using in the last week to cash a ton of units, and that is betting against public underdogs. So with the NFL last week, I had 12 bets, 11 of them hit, very good record. I also had 4 3-unit plays, which are bigger plays for me, not quite a max bet, but they are big plays. They all hit, and I had 2 at 1.5 units, slightly bigger than my 1 unit size, which is my regular play. Those both hit as well. And the way I did it was by fading the public. But specifically today, I want to talk about fading public underdogs, because this is something that people know about in the States, but in the UK, for some reason, it seems to be something that people don't do very often. And in football in particular, I use this a lot to cash beating underdogs who the public like. And it's a good way of really getting some information just by looking at the line movement to see if you're on the right side or the wrong side. Now, the first things we have to get out of the way is, what do I mean when I say public? When I say public, I mean the average sports bettor. The average sports bettor is a losing bettor. They can't pick good value. They definitely can't pick underdogs. So the average person can pick a winner. They know that the favourite in most games is going to win. The way books make money out of them is by giving bad value. So even if you win the bet, you won't make money long term taking that bet. That's why so many people feel like they can pick winners in sports betting, but they don't make profit. That's because when they have a loss, it wipes out their last 2-3 wins when they've been betting a favourite. So this is something that the books understand. They know that most people are going to bet the favourite, so they make sure the line is not good value. However, when the majority of the public are on an underdog, they really need to make sure that that underdog is not going to win, because if the majority of people are on it, they're going to lose a lot of money. So they will often bait people into that direction by giving better value. And if not enough people are betting that, they'll make the odds go higher and higher, so it looks more and more of a good bet and it better value, but all the time knowing that they're going to lose. So how do we know when there's a public underdog? Well, I use the website VSIN. It shows you the split. So it shows you what percentage of people are betting on each team. When you've got more than 50% of bets on one side, and then also the handle, which is the total money bets, is below or at that level, that means you've got a public underdog when it's on the underdog side. When there's less than 50% on the favourite, that's when you know you've got a public underdog situation. And ideally what you're looking for is the money that's on the public. You want to see a higher total number of bets than total money bet. That means it's sharp action, because sharps bet much bigger bets. If you're seeing a large number of total bets but a smaller amount of total money bet, then that's the public. That's the non-professionals, because they're putting lots of small bets on. So when you see that, say if you've got 2 teams, let's use a really extreme example. If we have, okay, let's use an example today actually. We have today Atalanta and Como. Atalanta are a big favourite. So Como, I don't know what odds they're at the moment. They're something like 6.00 decimal odds. If you had 50% of people on them, that would be a big red flag, because the bookie is not going to pay out, or not going to want to pay out, the majority of bets at 6-1 or 5-1 in odds, in that case, 6.0 decimal odds. That means they're pretty confident that Atalanta are going to win, or it's going to be a draw, but they're probably not going to take that risk. If it was that close, they would put the lines a bit lower. The other thing you can look at is if the bookie keeps increasing the line, so from 6.00 in this example, if that line goes up and gets higher, the odds get better, then you know they're baiting you in that direction and that the favourite's going to win. Last week I did this by looking at who the public was betting. When I saw the public were on an underdog for the NFL, I bet the exact opposite. And it's just pure maths, guys. The books do not want to pay out the majority of bets at plus money value. So that means if you can see there's a large amount of people, more than 50% on the underdog, you know that the bookie is confident that underdog's going to lose. And in this case, we're using the bookie's their own analysis and their own information against them. They've got way more data and information than you or me. They spend millions of pounds every day making sure their lines are sharp. So they're not going to get it wrong, and they don't get it wrong very often. Every now and then they will, but if you're going to be taking a lot of bets over a year, you're going to be on the right side more often than not. Obviously, this should not be the only thing you use to do your analysis. You should also be doing just general game analysis to rule out times when the books may have got it wrong, but it massively helps. In my case, for NFL, it's a sport that I do not consider myself a complete expert in, but I make a lot of money betting just by doing this, because I can tell by who the public are on which side is best to be on. And again, the public overwhelmingly bet on overs rather than unders. So when you see a lot of the public, like 70-80% on an over, the under may be a play in that case as well. I've cashed a lot of plays on the NFL over the last couple of weeks and college football that are on the under, just because psychologically people prefer to bet the over, so the books set the lines in accordance with that to exploit that. If you use this technique, you will make a lot of money. It's how I met my football tipster. I tipped Hungary, and I mention this example all the time, so apologies if I'm repeating myself, but I tipped Hungary to beat Georgia. Georgia were an underdog. A lot of the public were on them, like 60%. He actually live bet Hungary in the last few minutes. They won, he made a massive cash. I tipped Hungary to win, obviously before the game started. And that was mainly based on this, because in football in particular, the public aren't very educated. They don't go and look at the betting splits. It's a very casual market, so it means that this technique works even better. So start doing it, guys. A VISN subscription costs something like £150 for the year, and it is absolutely worth it. You can also tell though, just by listening to the market and sentiment, seeing who people are betting on, you just know it from just the noise around Twitter, around your friends. You will know when people are on a big underdog because everyone's talking about it. That's when you want to fade them, because these are not winning sports bettors by and large. So use that to your advantage, guys. You will make a lot of money doing that. If you want to know a bit more about it, go and Google it, search fading public underdogs or public underdogs, learn a bit more about it. This is just one technique you can put together with my previous video, which is another different technique for making money betting on football that will help you make profit long term. It worked for me. I went 11-1 on NFL this week, mainly using this method. Obviously, it's not my only one, but all of my bets, all of them this week, were fading the public, apart from one or two. So this actual method that I was using was a big part of it this week. And obviously you want to be betting against the side that the bookies are hoping is going to lose as well. You want to be on the side that the bookies think is going to win. So get used to doing this analysis and figuring out who the bookie thinks is going to win, and you can be on the winning side. Join the free Telegram, guys. The link's in the description below. You can follow our plays. We'll have some free ones later. But start doing this, guys, because it's easy money.